Mikey's mother was here today, so you already heard about Mikey today, right? So I'm going to testify about the young survivors. I'm going to give you a progress report, because my friend was killed October 22nd, 2011. So that's almost 4 years ago. And we started fighting the day after he died. So we've been in this struggle for a little while. And I want you to understand something, okay? This is a hopeless movement. This is a hopeless movement. That's what I was told when my friend was murdered. No hope. Don't even try it. Don't even try it. Because no one's going to back you up. It's you against the cops. Do you want to die? I'm already dead. They murdered my friend. They murdered me. I'm already dead. But how are we going to win this? How are we going to win this? So we got together with Mikey's family and his friends, and we testified everywhere we went. We told the truth. We testified about what they did to my friend. We testified about his last moments. We testified about his life, about his loves, about his future that was denied him. And once we started to testify, we found out other people wanted to testify too, because this is a lonely struggle when they take your loved one from you. This isolates you. Ruben was talking about family that's turned their back. I got family that's turned their back on me too. I got pigs in my family, and fuck them. They turned their back on me too. But I found this movement. We helped make this happen because we told the truth. And then someone else came forward that was murdered right across the street from my friend. And his family had some truth to tell too. Stephen Boers. So you know what we did? We learned his truth. So when we went out in the street, now we told two truths. I told Mikey's story and I told Stephen's story. Then we went to Anaheim and we met a whole bunch of other families. They wanted to learn about our friends and we wanted to learn about their loved ones. So we met Martin's sister. He was one of the first people that was murdered after my friends, Martin Hernandez. You hear that? That's the streets talking right there. That's what happens when you testify. That's what happens when you have the guts to get up and do this. You're going to inspire somebody who's driving by, right? You're going to get the truth into somebody's car, into somebody's mind. That's what you got to do. You got to tell that truth. You got to have faith that we're going to learn it and tell it too. Because that's how this works. That's how this works. We got to tell each other's truth. So 4 years later, when I saw that, you know what, and it's superficial and we'll see if they follow through with it. But 4 years ago, there's no way the police commission would have the guts to come out and even say anything, because they're cowards, just like the people they work for. Another common theme, right, besides running for their lives and getting murdered, is fear. Why was my friend Mikey murdered? Because the cop who killed him was a fucking coward. And that's okay when you're a cop. It's okay to be a coward when you're a cop. That's the excuse they put in the textbook. I was afraid for my life. How, you know what? And I hear it repeatedly. You talk about Kerry. My homie was 6'1", 135 pounds, soaking wet. Steve Gilly, 6'4", 250, jiu-jitsu black belt. Punk ass coward, scared of my friend, shot him in the back. All he had to do was go, I was scared for my life. Bullshit. You're a fucking murderer with an excuse. And here's another progress report. When Ignacio Ochoa was murdered in the streets of Paramount, they changed their story. They used to say he was reaching for his waistband and I was scared, and we all started saying that's a bunch of bullshit. That's a bunch of bullshit, reaching for his waistband. I gotta pull my pants up all the time. Get with it, cowards. So now what do they say? What did they say when they murdered Ignacio? He was reaching for my gun, because that's more feasible. That's a more reasonable fear. You get it? Fear, fear, fear. Be afraid, be a coward. You need us, because you can't do it yourself. We were at a protest for Noel Aguilar in Compton. Some asshole shows up in a shirt that says, "Hey cops, next time call a crackhead." You know what I told him? Why you gotta call a crackhead? Call me. That's what my neighbors do, they call me. And I call my neighbors, you know why? Because I know their fucking names. Because I go out there and I talk to my neighbors. And I want to know what's going on with their kids and their lives. And if someone's looking in my backyard, my neighbor's going to check them. I don't need the cops. I have a strong neighborhood. We need to build these neighborhoods up. We need to build up our neighborhoods. We need to get back to knowing our neighbors and loving our neighbors and taking care of our neighbors so these fucking cops don't have an excuse to come in and murder our sons, our brothers, our friends. Here's another truth. They're cruel and sadistic. When Martin Hernandez was murdered, it was March 6, 2012. We linked up with Genevieve Huizar. So the jury's deliberation date when they exonerated the cops who killed her son was March 6, 2014, the anniversary of Martin's murder. And this year they want to go to court for Martin, and it's on July 21st, the anniversary of Manuel's murder. These guys are cruel. They use psychological tactics to make you quit. Because your truth is so dangerous, you can bring down this whole fucking system, not just the cops, the courts, the probation officers, the schools, everybody who's betrayed our children, our loved ones. We have to be the ones that do it. The Young Survivors is a network of families who stick up for each other, help each other out, and find other families to do this with. Because you're not going to find anybody else crazy enough to take these streets with you except for these families and some down fucking friends. So you better be down, because we're going to get down today. All right? And if you can't get down for Sonia, her brother's court date is next month, July 21st. And you know what? Anaheim, Orange County needs to know that there's power in this movement, that they have something to be afraid of. So if you can, come out and help us. We're down for you. We'll be here for you. When's your date? Show up in court and let these juries know, right, that somebody's missing in this, that this is a human being that they stole. When these juries have to start to think, one of the reasons we get out in the streets, you never know which one of these people driving by has evidence, was an eyewitness, knows an eyewitness. And let me tell you something about guilt. If you're a righteous person, you can't handle it. They go home and they think about it. Then they make a phone call and they're like, man, I got a video somebody needs to see. Or I saw something that I'm scared to testify about. Can you help me? I can't do it anymore. I see you love your son. I see you love your brother. We need to be a voice for the voiceless, and we need to empower the powerless. And the way we do that is sticking up for each other. All right? There's a lot of families here today. Please connect, because this is the way it's got to be. This is the way it's got to be. You can't do it for one. You got to do it for all. Right? You got to do it for all. Thank you.